The Celerio has had a lot of buzz going around it ever since it came to light that Maruti and Suzuki were developing a small capacity, efficient diesel motor. After all, the combination would give the customer the best of both the worlds. Maruti's trusted brand value and of course the lowest running cost of any diesel motor in the Indian passenger car market. In fact, once the car got launched and the magical figure of 27.6 kmpl was revealed, the buzz around the car simply kept on increasing. We have been asked on a daily basis, how is the car to drive? Is it really noisy? Kitna deti hai? And so on. And this is the reason why I decided to have this small wonder as my companion for a week and put it to a small test. So the test is pretty simple. I live in West Delhi and I commute to Gurgaon on a daily basis, and while doing so, I end up spending almost 2 hours in my car in very slow moving traffic. And no matter where you stay in India, I'm sure you're aware of the infamous, long, never-ending jams on the Delhi-Gurgaon Expressway. So it's finally time to use the Celerio diesel for my morning commute to the office. Stay with us for the next few minutes and you will have our verdict on India's most fuel-efficient car. The fuel economy display of the Celerio diesel was already showing an economy of a little over 18 kmpl. The USP of this engine is the claimed efficiency figure of 27.6 kmpl. On the highways, it may be that efficient, but in the city, in the daily grind, how it fares is what we had to find out. Now, if you're going to be driving the Celerio diesel for the first time, be ready for a surprise when it twists the key. However, once the engine comes to life, it settles down into a typical idle that is so common with a two-cylinder setup. Now, the overall noise at idling is well under control. Even if you rev the engine a bit, the diesel clatter is not more than some of the other 6 to 8 lakh rupee diesel offerings in the Indian market. Now, we are in the middle of a typical hot and humid Delhi weather that hits you very hard by the end of June. Now, in spite of a small diesel engine, the AC in such a traffic situation, in a start and stop traffic situation, has not been tripping off. Surprisingly, the overall aircon performance in the Celerio diesel is really above the mark. Now, for anyone who's going to be spending 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening, would definitely want to know how a new car feels like on the road. Now, in this regard, to begin with, the overall steering effort in the Celerio diesel is way more than the Celerio petrol. Of course, once you start moving on the road, the effort reduces and puts a smile on your face. But that said, at really slow speeds, at parking speeds, the overall effort is surprisingly very high. For anyone who's going to be spending over 7 lakh rupees for a car, a long feature list is a must-have. What you see here is a top-end ZTI optional version of the Celerio diesel, and this comes with features like steering controls for the audio system, steering controls for the Bluetooth system, a keyless entry, front fog lamps, fuel economy display, rear wiper, and so on. Now, all these things collectively can make your life a lot easier on a daily basis. Now, one of the biggest questions that people have been asking us about this new car is the way the engine drives. Well, it's not a pocket rocket and there is ample turbo lag under 1800 RPM, and it's actually difficult to crawl in second gear at really low speeds, something that is required while negotiating speed breakers. However, that said, there's a sweet spot with the engine, and that is between 2000 till 3000 RPM. In this torque band, this car can surprise you with the abilities to close in on gaps and build up speeds. Of course, there is simply no point in over-revving the engine over 3500 RPM. Upshift early and this baby engine will actually delight you. When we reached our destination, the fuel economy display finally put a smile on my face. What you have just seen has been a day in the life of a typical commuter, and that is what this car has been doing with me for the past 1 week. Now to summarize, I'll make the verdict very simple. I'll speak to you like a typical buyer of this segment. What does he want in a new car? Well, the new car should have a lot of space, features, the new car should be trustworthy, but most importantly, the new car should be supremely comfortable and very efficient. And across all these parameters, the new Celerio diesel has fared very well. Of course, it's not the cheapest diesel car on sale in India thanks to heavy discounts on the Chevy B, but as an all-rounder, as an overall package for the family usage at this price point, this car has no competition. On that note, I'll take your leave. If you like the video, do subscribe to our channel. Take care and drive safe.